People like to say that this show is black-pilled. That there's too much negative news. Well, this story's kind of negative, but I think it's a positive for those of us that want to win the culture war. This past weekend, Donald Trump shows up to Madison Square Garden with Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson, Dana White at UFC. This is New York City, and the arena goes nuts. Everybody is screaming and cheering. Ladies and gentlemen, we're winning the culture war. And I think the woke people absolutely know it. With what's going on now pertaining to Israel-Palestine and the left's implosion as celebrities abandon the left en masse and prominent left-wing podcasts shatter as the left can't seem to agree with liberals on that issue, we are seeing complete and abject failure of the woke ideology. It is crumbling, losing support, and now we have the story of the Marvels. Back when Captain Marvel came out, it's an MCU movie. Maybe many of you don't care all that much about Marvel, but let me explain because this matters in the culture war. Many people were critical of Brie Larson. At first, it was kind of neutral. It was like, okay, let's see what this is all about. Many people liked the MCU, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. People are excited for what's the next phase. They said that Brie Larson would replace Robert Downey Jr. as the tie-in character. With the MCU, Robert Downey Jr. basically is in all the different movies or referenced in some way or appearing in cameos, creating this strong through-line arc, right? They said that Brie Larson would be that. And then she started doing press. Insufferable leftist politics spoiled her opportunity to shine. It's her own fault. And for this, people started to really not like her. But when Captain Marvel came out, people pointed out how awful the movie was compared to the rest of the Marvel movies and why people didn't want to see it. So what happened? The media sprang into action and claimed it was an anti-woke backlash and review bombs, and the movie was actually really great. No, the movie was actually fairly bad. Now we're learning that The Marvels, the sequel, is the worst Marvel opening ever at $46.1 million. This But we have updates, my friends. Forbes, I love this one. The Marvels faces anti-woke backlash after box office flop, echoing Captain Marvel attacks. Now, hold on there a minute, good sir. You're actually trying to play this game about anti-woke backlash? Dude, the movie bombed. Nobody wanted to see it. The people involved failed. Get woke, go broke. And this is the narrative they're going for. But here's my favorite part in all of this. As we watch the billion-dollar breakdown that is Disney's failures pertaining to their attempts at wokeness, they are now claiming The Marvels is the #1 movie in the world. And for this, they're accused of being liars. Well, I got news for everybody. Their metric is technically correct. The best kind of correct, I say. Marvel is accused of lying after claiming that the new film, The Marvels, is the #1 movie in the world, despite box office bomb, making just $47 million, the lowest MCU opening of all time. And there you have it, my friends. There you have it. We got the numbers. I'll go through the numbers. And then I want to talk to you about the collapse. Right now, according to Rotten Tomatoes, it is the critics saying the movie is bad. But hold on, what happened? It used to be that if the critics said it was bad and the audience said it was good, then it must be good. And so there's a lot of movies like this. There's that one with Bruce Willis. I can't remember what it was, what it's called, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Where it's like a dad who gets revenge on these killers. And all the critics hated it. It got like a 0, but all the fans loved it. Yeah, it was a popcorn flick with Bruce Willis fighting the bad guys. It was fun and entertaining. But now it's the inverse. The critics are saying that Marvels is bad, and the fans are actually saying it was good. But you know what? Don't know, don't care. The attempt by Disney to wokeify has failed, and good riddance. And now what are we hearing? Oh, here we go. The director is saying, you got a problem with my movie being too woke? That's right. Once again, it's another one of these. If you don't like my politics, don't watch the movie. Okay, we won't. We won't do it. They've said it over and over again. There's this viral clip where this woman is like, she's a comic book executive or something, and she's like, if you don't like the politics in my books, don't buy them. And the next clip is her going, we are seeing an absolute collapse in sales. Numbers that used to get comic books canceled are now considered successes. They have gutted and destroyed all of this. And you know what their goal is? What they want is the collapse of our culture. But guess what? You can't do it. You can't shut us down. Why? Because we like things, and we're going to make those things if you stop. And that is why we are winning the culture war. Here's the article from Forbes. Let's read through it and see what's going on. The Marvels, the newest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, had the franchise's worst ever opening weekend at the box office, and right-wing critics are using its poor performance to criticize the profitability of female-led movies. You see what they're doing? I love it. Years after lead actress Brie Larson faced attacks for her prior film, Captain Marvel. I don't understand why Gal Gadot didn't get attacked mercilessly for being a woman playing Wonder Woman. How about that? The Marvels, which stars 3 women. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's jump down to the article, okay? Popular right-wing X account, End Wokeness, which frequently criticizes woke media to its 1.8 million followers, posted a screenshot of an article announcing Marvel would focus on diversity and inclusion, juxtaposed with a screenshot of the Marvel's poor box office. Every single time, the post states, get woke, go broke, right-wing pundit Tim Pool posted to his 1.8 million X followers, alongside a screenshot of a Deadline article about the film's box office underperformance. Am I wrong? Right-wing pundit. What does that mean, right-wing? Here we go. Here's more. YouTube personality Nerdrotic, who often lambasts woke films to his nearly 900,000 subscribers, garnered almost 1 million views in under 24 hours on a video titled The Marvels is Awful, in which he criticizes Disney's push for representation and refers to the MCU as the MSHU. In a reaction video to the Marvels trailer, conservative pundit Ben Shapiro called the film woke garbage and criticized Larson's Captain Marvel as one of the worst superhero characters ever. Agreed. Here we go. You guys ready for this one? The moment you have all been waiting for. Film consultant David A. Gross told the New York Times that female-powered entertainment is enjoying extraordinary success right now. But audiences are not embracing these stories. Oh, you'll love to hear it. Let me repeat that quote for you. And then I ask, how many of you caught that? I guess you all did. Female-powered entertainment is enjoying extraordinary success, and nobody likes it. Dude, what does he mean by success? Executives are dumping money into garbage stories with a-hole actresses that nobody wants to watch, and the movies flounder and fail? That's success? Dude, audience are not embracing these stories. Sounds like that's not success to me. But here's where we are. Marvel is accused of lying. Look at this ad. The Marvels have arrived. Don't miss the #1 movie in the world, now playing in theaters everywhere. Oh, man. You know, Brie Larson was such a nasty and insufferable person and cruel and vindictive. So it's schadenfreude for so many people to see this. She is not a likable personality. I feel kind of bad, but it's her own making. She embraced the intersectional woke garbage and went ham on it. And then she started doing these promo events where she was just snooty and unlikable. This is what they get. I don't put the full blame on Brie Larson. I don't really care. I thought she was great in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She sang that metric cover of Black Sheep. It's great. But this is what happens. Robert Downey Jr., a white male, plays the main character of the MCU. Iron Man, of all people. They never thought he was going to be the most popular guy. Spider-Man's like the most profitable superhero franchise. But so they went with Iron Man and it worked. Why? RDJ is good at what he does. He's good at what he does. And this is where we end up. In an attempt to be diverse, they say, you know, as Robert Downey Jr. exits, we're going to bring in Brie Larson. We're going to have a strong lady character. And what's her arc? Her arc is that her powers are gifted to her by accident, and then a man suppresses her powers and tells her to control her emotions. She robs people, and then finally realizes she was always strong and didn't need to be held back by a man. And it's just like, dude, that girl boss stuff is not relatable to the average person. They keep trying to push this woke garbage. Ain't nobody wants to watch that. Wonder Woman is very different. Of course, she always had the power. This is where it's really funny. The story of Wonder Woman is that she's trying to find the God killer, the weapon. She thinks it's the sword. And then it turns out it's not the sword. It was her the whole time. She was created by the gods as a weapon to defeat other gods. But guess what? Gal Gadot is charming and likable. And her character arc was good, realizing that the power was her the whole time. You see how they try to do this, but they do it poorly? When you have a motherly character who is likable, then people are like, I liked that story. Contrasted with the more masculine war happens, I thought Wonder Woman was fantastic. Here we go. Look at this. Definitely not the number one movie. One person said, number one movie in the world doesn't mean I can sue you guys for false advertising. I got news for everybody. According to the numbers.com, the number one movie in the country is, in fact, The Marvels, with $46.1 million gross. Five Nights at Freddy's comes in at number two. But hold on there a minute, my friends. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Sure, we can look at the daily numbers and see that for Sunday, The Marvels was number one. And for the weekend, Marvels was number one. The real issue is there was no other release. They chose to release The Marvels knowing they would compete with no one else. So when the movie bombed and they knew it was going to bomb, they could claim we're number one. It's so great. I love saying that that Timcast music, we had songs that beat Taylor Swift. Now, what does that really mean? On iTunes sales, briefly when we launched one of our songs, I think it was Genocide, we were ahead of Taylor Swift. And everyone's like, wow, congratulations. And then like 12 hours later, she took the spot back and maintained it and we couldn't beat her. It was the initial announcement, a big burst that puts us above, and then we fall back down. Whereas she has a massive amount of sustained fans who keep buying her song. But we can say it, right? Well, congratulations to Marvel for being number one. That being said, in terms of the worldwide gross for 2023, Marvel's ain't anywhere near the top. So sure, let them say number one. Let them say it. And of course, what you've all been waiting for, comicbookmovie.com, the Marvel's director Nia DaCosta responds to those who believe MCU sequel is too woke. Ah, yes, here we are. The Marvels hasn't had a super weekend at the box office, and there are plenty of people reveling in the woke sequel's box office struggles. Now, filmmaker Nia DaCosta has chimed in. Woke appears to be the word of the moment right now with any movie or TV show that doesn't conform to certain standard, often given that label. It's hardly a surprise that then at the Marvels, a movie with 3 female leads, 2 of whom are people of color, is coming under attack. Some have been rooting for it to fail since before the first trailer even dropped. And back in 2019, Rotten Tomatoes even had to change its policy to stop trolls from review bombing Captain Marvel. You see the stupid game these people play? People watched Captain Marvel and said, I don't like it, negative review. And they said, we better get rid of that because people don't like this movie. Psychotic ideologues. Talking to Variety shortly before the Marvels touchdown in theaters, director Nia DaCosta was asked about the negativity surrounding the sequel, saying, explaining that she's been familiar with the negative and toxic sides of fandom because she's been a big old fan of nerdy-ish for a long time, she said, there are pockets where you go because you're like, I'm a super fan. I want to exist in the space of just adoration, which includes civilized critique. Then there are pockets that are really virulent and violent and racist and sexist and homophobic and all those awful things. Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep saying these things over and over to yourself as you rock back and forth in the corner of your padded room, lying to yourself for now a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not know this, but I come from a mixed race background, part Asian, as it were. Ah, yes. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Not once have I ever cared about a diverse cast of characters. I literally do not care. But let me tell you this. When you create movies that claim to be diversity, like Black Panther, but it's 90% black cast members, we roll our eyes at your ideological nonsense. Look, if you take a look at, say, like Avengers Infinity War, did we call that a triumph of diversity? Well, I mean, there's a black character in it. There's female characters in it. There's female characters of color. There's even female aliens in it. Nobody came out and cheered for diversity. You see, the issue is whenever they claim it's a diverse film with a diverse cast, what they're really saying is the storyline will suck, and we all know it. Now, the last thing I care about with the Marvels is that they have what is effectively, look, oh man, it is just so mind-numbingly stupid. Instead of just having like a main character, they have 3, a white woman, a black woman, and a Middle Eastern woman. It's like, dude, we get what you're doing, and the villain is a black woman. People don't trust it anymore, and that's a damn shame. It really is. it shouldn't matter if the main character is a female or otherwise. I thought Black Widow was kind of hokey, but I enjoy seeing Scarlett Johansson play this role. The problem with the Black Widow movie is that it's like a black sheep of the MCU. It's out of place, out of the timeline. I don't know what it was all about. It was whatever, but it was fine for the most part. It had some corny scenes in it, but it's like whatever. Ain't nobody complained about Scarlett Johansson and Black Widow. Like, she's been a great character in the MCU for a long time, and people were like, it's about time she got a movie. A lot of people say it feels too old school or whatever, but I tell you this right now, the MCU is collapsing, okay? It's garbled nonsense, and it's in free fall. And when they make garbage movies that people don't want to watch, their response is always, it must be that they're racists. Dude, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to build our own culture. She says, and I choose the side of the light. That's the part of fandom I'm most attracted to. She went on to say, that's my first time I realized those lines are strong. In reference to, she says, in the same interview, she was asked if it was a deliberate decision to include the Beastie Boys hit Intergalactic in the trailers because it includes the line, well, now, don't you tell me to smile. Many deemed that a response to the chatter surrounding Captain Marvel. She says, it wasn't that deep. It's the first time I realized the lines are in the song. I cannot say that was on purpose on my part. Sorry to be disappointing. And now it's in free fall. You love to see it. You love to see it. Bombs with the lowest MCU box office debut. Now, interestingly, Tomato Meter's got it at 61. Audience score is at 84. But you know why the audience score is at 84? Nobody saw it. I can't review it. You see, this is the lie about the review bombing. They said that people were review bombing the film. They were giving it negative reviews for no reason other than it was politics. Lies. They went and saw the Captain Marvel, and they said this movie is bad. I will tell you this right now. I went and saw it, and I said it was bad. I remember that. Wow, I remember that day when I went to go see it. We used to be so hyped and excited for all the new Marvel movies that were coming out. And you get these people that are like, stop being a child, be a man, don't watch Marvel movies. Dude, it's American culture. We have things we grew up watching and we like, stories that inspired us to be better people, and we want the same thing for our kids. It's not about me saying, I want to watch a superhero film. It's about me saying, what are we giving to the future generations and to our children, and why are they so dejected, aimless, and angry? So here's what happens. Let me tell you a story. I remember watching Pirates of the Caribbean. What a great movie. It's a modern masterpiece. Really is great and entertaining. You best start believing in ghost stories, Missy. You're in one. And so many great lines and memes, right? And then they announced a sequel. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. When At World's End came out, it got made even more money than the first one. Why? I didn't go see the first movie in theaters. I saw it at a friend's house. Oh, so long ago. Takes me back. And I didn't care to see it in theaters. I wasn't paying attention. When I saw it at my friend's house, I was like, whoa, that was awesome. So when the next movie came out, I absolutely went to go see it in theaters. They then said it was better than the first. Why? The money proved it. And I was like, wait, hold on. That movie sucked. I hated it. It was hokey, no strong storyline, and no ending. I was very disappointed. But you see, everybody liked the first movie so much, they went and saw the next one. Let me tell you about the Marvels. Everyone hated the first one so much, they didn't go and see the next one. And so the people who gave it a negative review saying, I went and saw it and it sucked, didn't watch it and aren't reviewing it. So now it is only the people left who liked the first one to review the second one. Talk about absolute failure. And now we have this. Captain America 4 delay raises questions about movie's Israeli superhero. That's right. This one's absolutely hilarious. So here's Sabra. It's just like she's like Captain Israel, basically. Her costume is the Israeli flag with the Star of David on it. Come on. Captain America's already a bit hokey. Here we go. They're pushing back the date on Captain America for some reason. And many people are speculating it's because they need to get rid of this Captain Israel lady. Sure. Whatever. I don't know. They say on October 7th, Palestinian group Hamas launched an attack. We get it. According to the AP, at least 1,400 people have been killed. We get it. We know that story. First appearing in the credible Hulk comic book series in 1980, Sabra is a mutant with super strength and speed who works for Mossad, the real-life Israeli Secret Service agency. Her name is Ruth Bat Seraph, while her superhero title translates to a person born in Israel. Early iterations of Sabra, one of the lesser known characters, shows her wearing basically the Israeli flag. Sabra also regularly fought comic characters that portrayed offensive Arabic stereotypes, such as Arabian Knight, who controlled the magic carpet. Yo, wow. The Sabra character, when juxtaposed with Captain America, unavoidably amplifies nationalist and political ideologies and convictions and could inadvertently exacerbate tensions in the Middle East. Deepak Sarma, professor at the College of Arts and Sciences in Cleveland, previously told Newsweek. So after the reports of the delay, many people are claiming that it is likely because of Sabra, they are going to push this back. Shira Haas, in 2021, Israeli actress, was cast to play Sabra in Brave New World. People were saying that Captain America Brave New World was 99% done, and they're pushing it to 2025, a year and a half. I bet Marvel is removing the Sabra character from the movie good. You see, they're going to fail. Let them play this game and let them fail. I'm more than happy to see it. This story, my friends, I should have said this in the beginning. This is part of the woke boycott we've seen. People don't want to buy Bud Light. People don't want to shop at Target. And people don't want to go see the Marvels. We are winning. Download Public Square. Support businesses that support your values. And guess what? We're watching it in real time. People aren't spending money on woke garbage. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.